Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we are going to give you the marketing advice you need to hear but don't want to. And there's a couple things in here. So Neil, why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, the big overall theme is like there's a apocalypse coming and you're pretty much going to be shit out of luck. And here's what we mean by this. Facebook ad costs are continually on the rise. In 2017, Facebook had more advertisers than inventory, at least in the United States, right? Ad costs are just going up. Google AdWords costs started going up again as well. It's going to make your conversions harder and harder. Even SEO, you're doing really well with SEO. Well, it's changing. They're trying to focus on voice because they believe that's the future. You think people are going to be Googling with voice and going to be clicking on 10 results in the future? No, your traffic's going to go down. If you're not at the top, you're shit out of luck. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. Everything is going to get screwed up with voice, with all these automation and artificial intelligence and augmented reality. Marketing is going to change so much in the next few years that whatever you're doing right now to generate your sales in your business, it'll still be around, but it's not going to be your main source. You're going to end up having to do so many different channels out there to just get the same results, and things are going to be tough that if you don't adapt and you don't move fast, you're pretty much going to be shit out of luck.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was watching an interview with, I believe it was a private equity guy and Mark Cuban yesterday talking about how there's going to be a ton of job displacement when artificial intelligence really starts to kick in, especially general AI, which we're maybe 10, 15, 20 years out. But you think about it, right? Like a lot of these things that we're doing, you know, people writing articles, things like that, and even like people that are helping me, kind of edit these podcasts and then write at the same time, like things are going to change very quickly. And here's the thing, and then what Neil is talking about, in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see a lot more change than what we've seen maybe in the last, 50 or 100 years or so, right? Things are just Moore's law. Things are moving along a lot faster. So you have to be able to adapt. But how do you actually adapt, right? So what's really fortunate for both Neil and myself is Neil's got a brand in the marketing space. I kind of have a little micro brand. And so, the type of people that we get to connect with, whether it's different entrepreneurs, different marketers, we're aware of what's coming and we're hedging our bets to make sure that we're not going to lose everything, right? So we're not going to just rely on one traffic source. We're not going to just rely on, one different thing. We're going to, I think what's really important is that you are able to build some kind of micro brand for yourself so you can connect with the right people to be aware of what's going on in the world, to stay connected, right? You have to be able to, adapt, and that means learning a lot on the fly, right? So building a micro brand and then adapting is really important. And then if you're not able to do that, if you kind of like, well, I have this good, this SEO agency or whatever, and you're not looking ahead and you're not aware of algorithm changes, to Neil's point, Google Voice, or let's say you have a paid advertising agency and you're just going to do things the same way for the next 5 to 10 years. And before you know it, everything's automated and, the work that is being done is no longer being done the same way. Well, you're going to lose your shirt, right? So you have to be able to adapt, and to be able to do that, you have to have some kind of influence and connect with the right people. That way you're able to hedge your bets and shield yourself.
Yeah, and if you have a team or you yourself are doing everything, make sure people don't just execute fast, but they experiment a lot. Eric and I test so much with things changing so rapidly, and we don't know where they're specifically going to go and what's going to work and what's not. You need to have the testing and experiment mindset in which every week, how can you run a test? It's okay if they all fail, but by running tests, you'll learn what's working, what's not working, and eventually you'll be able to take that data and start adapting your business based off of the feedback that you're getting. For example, we used to run tests and being like, oh, we found that everyone's lazy to sign up because they already have a Gmail, they already have a Facebook login, they have a Twitter login, they have 100 different logins. People are lazy. Then they just want to use Google authentication or Facebook authentication to sign up. Then privacy issues started coming about and security issues and all this hacking stuff. And now people don't want to end up just, doing Google authentication anymore. And it can, hurt your numbers compared to what it was producing before. If you're not continually experimenting and learning and adapting with the times, you're going to end up losing out when it comes to marketing. Now, I know that example I gave you is like a broad example and, some of you guys may already know about it, but it took years for that to happen in which, Google authentication was performing well for 2-3 years, and then it started tanking. These days, the market is iterating so fast and technology is moving at such a quick pace that things what work 6 months ago or a year ago will stop working.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2 books here. So one I talked about just a few episodes ago, it's Rocket Fuel, right? The concept of having a visionary and an integrator. So both Neil and myself, I can look at it and say, okay, we're both probably the visionaries of our companies, which means here's the thing, like both Neil and I are very similar and like we like to test a bunch of different things, and it probably drives our team crazy sometimes with the speed, but that's what it takes, right? So what I recommend is, in addition to reading Rocket Fuel and figuring out whether you're the visionary or integrator and kind of what you need to look for, also, there's a book from Peter Drucker, writes a ton of great management books, but there's a really good one for just anyone that's listening to this. It's called Managing Oneself. And there's one excerpt from there that I really like, where you basically, you can just create like a Google sheet, and I think it's called a something analysis, feedback analysis, I believe. So you're basically looking at all the big bets that you've tried in the last, year or so. Let's say you start recording today, right? Maybe in, 2020 or 2021 or so, you look back at this sheet and you look at all the bets, the big bets that you've taken, and every single big bet that's worked for you. And then you're able to start to figure out, okay, what your true strengths are, right? But it's important that, if you're going to test these things, you're going to make these big tests, that you kind of audit yourself over time. So then you're aware of what your strengths are, right? So that's kind of a side note. But yeah, you have to be able to look ahead of time, test rapidly. And here's another thing. Don't try to hire, people that are exactly like you. Because I guarantee you, if Neil tried to hire another Neil, it wouldn't work out that well, right? They'd probably butt heads all the time, right? So you have to have people that are complementary to your skills. That way you're going to be able to solve problems quickly and effectively.
So wrapping this up, Eric and I were big believers that you need to end up being prepared for the future. What lies ahead in marketing? Who knows? It's getting really crazy. But just make sure you're willing to experiment, learn fast, and adapt. Because if you don't, you're going to be shit out of luck. And don't rely on all the channels that are working for you right now. Things are changing so fast. The results for them won't be the same.
Yeah, just be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So anyway, before we go, we have a special 1 year, I think it's 1 year, giveaway of Neil's heat mapping tool, Crazy Egg. Just go to singlegrain.com/giveaway to learn more, and we'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.